Hey Todd, how are you, man? Yeah, I couldn't fix the sound issues, so I moved to the desk. Yeah, at least this microphone works fine, I think. Yeah, well, I have to do with what I have. Everything is fine, and with you, man. I saw your French tanks, sweet models actually, and very nice price. I really like early war stuff. You can play that counter-attack at the goal, commanded with a cuirassier. I'm just drawing the... yeah, I started giving names to the places, and at the moment this is the rightmost map, which is Caerula Throni. No, Rubri Mountains, and that's the name of the region, and it's called Rubri Regnum, which is the Red Kingdom. Makes sense, right? It's blues versus reds. And I gave names to the proconsuls, and I think I'll use names of subscribers and stuff, like adapted. So we have Galenus Stilphanus as the proconsul for the blue faction, which is Caerula Throni, and we have Aeneas Gesanus, which is for Rubri Regnum proconsulate. So yeah, we're doing stuff and advancing and finishing the map, and then I have to, I'll photocopy a ton of these, because, or maybe I'll laminate them and make marks, but I have to check all the towns. Which size they are and all that, but I think I'll record that instead of making it live stream. Alright, just want to get this drawing finished so I can move on to the lore itself and start. We will need some generals. Yeah, still a few stuff. At the moment, just want to finish the map. This is the center map. This is the Red Kingdom. I think I showed this one. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, Red Kingdom is a lot of fertile land and a lot of marble and granite and whatever from the moors and rock outcrops. While the Blue Kingdom is a lot more mining and woodsmen, so they have a port, which the Red Kingdom doesn't, but the senatorial neutral area, which is in the center, does have a port, and yeah. Let's see. All right. So the idea is to use Dawn of Battle to resolve the battles, because it is kind of it is a system, not a game in itself. So it's just blues versus reds, and encompassing like 3,000 years of warfare. So from pretty much like guess we could play Assyrians, Egyptians, Hittites, because it has chariots and all that, and we can play up to, I would say, probably the 1300s, early 1400s, because it also has the handguns and artillery. So yeah, but for this first campaign, the idea is to play something based off Roman history. That's why I went with the motive of something Roman civil wars. I was, yeah, started this because I found out, like, I don't know, a year ago or something, this channel called The Joy of Wargaming. And the fun thing is that back in the club, even if we played a lot of Warhammer and some other smaller rules, there was, and yeah, this was like 20 years ago, we always had a couple fellows, including one of the club store owners. It was a store with the club, and they always set up campaigns for us to play. So even if we wouldn't go there and play, the story would never stop, because there was always people going there to play. So okay, let's continue. I'm gonna put one more mountain there, just to okay. You can make, I hate to do the trees before the rest is done. Okay, we have, let's finish the river here. So as I was saying, they were always running campaigns, usually fantasy stuff, of course. Imaginations, so they would kind of design basic nations. Even if we played World War II or something, it was always with made up nations. The store side of things, it was focused, Games Workshop focused. So they but it wasn't bad. We for today, if I'm going to play some role play game, I rather play on the Warhammer universe, and I rather play like Grim and Perilous or Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, but it's just my preference, and I know the lore inside out. But the thing is, the store club owners would always come up with campaigns to run throughout the years and the months. So there was always something to do, and it was great. Instead of picking up a book and everything, they would entice the rest of the customers and the usual people on the club to participate in the creation of the story. So, like, for example, something based off Border Princess area, which is always fun because there's lore but not that much, so it's a very open area to do that. So we would participate in the creation. Okay, I'm gonna make this slightly. And the fun part, and coming back to the start of the conversation, yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. And I came to a point where, man, I really need to stop, choose two rule sets and get back to what I really liked back then, like 20 years ago, right? Like getting a campaign, even if it's in an own universe, and get it done. Create everything. It's not to create an encyclopedia of lore and everything. It's just something to move troops through and have them fight battles. And he sparked back that feeling, and man, it's been a non-stop and a torrent of ideas ever since. Yeah, but I get what you mean, and that's good. But I never found, the thing is, I never found another club like that ever. Uh, the location, the people that would go there, and it was not only a club, it was also a store, but it had so much space. It was a shame that it ended, and I never found anything like that. Even the other places I went, they are just too small. And they are really more stores than clubs. So yeah, not really my kind of venue. So I rather enjoy it myself, right? Paint the figures and do all that. And I mean, it's a hobby I like, and it's a variety of disciplines, right? I mean, even if you, I don't know, just want to make a village, right? With a few houses, some venues, and call it Bastogne, or make up a name, and with some fences and some pigsties and whatnot, and that's it. A B, and we're going to advance with X platoons, and there you go, you have a map. Yep, right? This one is just to conduct a campaign instead of a one-off, but in the one-offs you can use, there are some good systems. That two fat lardies for the, I think it's sharp practice with the cards. I mean, you can use normal play cards even. There's a ton of systems to generate a campaign. Actually, there's a guy that, I can't remember his blog. He's playing English Civil War campaign and using Snakes and Ladders game to generate the battles and how the campaign is progressing. I mean, there's so many ideas, and the thing is, if I play so many times solitaire, right? So playing both sides, why not, make a campaign that I really want to play, and I can conduct myself, and even do some paperwork, and let the story evolve, and that's it. It's the same I'm doing with my daughter and the friends with a pirate game, right? It's based in history. Yeah, I didn't made them read tons of books. Just gave them the dictionary of buccaneers and all that, and they started with their characters, and then I put them into the battles, right? So, and we will be using only 2 game systems as well. And yeah, that's pretty much how it will go and how we'll generate a campaign. That one is a bit more narrative, so a bit more linear, and it depends on what they choose. Kind of a light role-play war game, like I like to call them. And this one will be the same, just in a different scope, a bit more involved, I would say. And the map is just to, I don't know, to conduct movement, to conduct where the battle will be fought. I did it like an entire week of tryouts in different matrices. The ones with the dots, the X's. Oh my god, the hexes! I hated them. I don't know. It's a very unique way of designing. Yeah, thanks, Crossing. I mean, I'm not really a great drawer. I just as I my daughter draws very well. She's in art, and what I usually say to her is, "Monkey sees, monkey does." So yeah, I see how forms are made, and I just copy them, and it works. And I must thank you for the compliment. uh, what else? Well, I gave some names already. Let us go through there. Just I won't have to plug in the vape. So we have the name of the peninsula. It's kind of loosely based on Italy. It's called Callego. The country itself, like like Carthage or Rome or everything, it's called Velarem Respublica, which is it's a republic, was at least, or still is. Then we have the northern province, which called Caerula, and then the faction, which is led by one of the proconsuls, which is the blue faction, is now called Caerula Throne. And the southern side is called Rubri Mons, Red Mountain, and now the faction is called Rubri Regnum. And the senatorial city, the seat of the republic, is called Ipses Briga. Alright, Caerula Throne is ruled by proconsul, and this is where I'll pick up, I don't know, commenters from the channel and subscribers, whatever names I can come up with, which is Galenus Stilphanus. And for Rubri Regnum, we have the proconsul Aeneas Gesanus. So it's two commenters, and even for the generals and all that, I'll use some of the names. Basically, the casus belli for the war, it's loosely based on Julius Caesar and Pompey and all that. So there was a triumvirate of Galenus, Aeneas, and a guy that we have no clue about, which is Oblivious, which was murdered. And there's a little lore that I have on the side for him. So basically, they were declared pariahs by the Senate, and they turned the nail on its head, and now they say they will take the Senate ward and bring the criminal to justice. So Aeneas wants to bring Galenus to justice, and Galenus says that he's the rightful servant of the Senate, and that he will bring his opponent to justice. So that's pretty much what I have at the moment. Yeah, I want to finish the map to roll for the cities as soon as possible, because we have to rule how much each city produces, how many troops, how many cohorts and auxiliary troops and whatnot, and supplies it can, how many troops it can supply in the field. The book is really cheap. William Sylvester's Solo Wargaming Guide. Man, you can say, well, but I can find stuff like that on the internet. Yeah, of course you can. But the book is a book, and he has a lot of neat ideas how to conduct the campaign that you can drink from. And the thing is, you can drink from the book, and you can drink from all the sources you find on the internet. So there's no loss in having the book, and it's highly recommended, especially if you like these imaginations. Alright, Todd, see you, man. Thanks for passing by, and thanks for the chat. So to create, I never see. I love history, really love history, but I see absolutely zero problems with imaginations in creating a war game that is based on fantasy. Okay, I'm gonna do that mountain a bit bigger so the river go behind. Alright. So that's the entire idea of doing this exercise. Okay. Go from behind. And yeah, if I mean, in the end, it's just a hobby, really. It's fun to record and do all the. I hate unboxings. Oh my god, I hate them by the day. Like I really, and it seems like it's 80% of content nowadays. And yeah, I want to get away from that. It's if I get very hyped with something, I might go and look, guys, I just got it, and take a photo and all that. So that's fine. The other day when I received Dawn of War, I immediately took a photo, and actually, the first persons I shown the photo to was the guys I bought the game from, and to the publisher. Look, I received it, everything is in perfect condition, and yeah. Of course it's fine to show other people that what the game contents are, but I mean, if one goes and to buy a historical game or historical miniatures, I mean, one would expect that prospective buyer to have the minimum idea of what he's looking for. So an unboxing like the other was today. Yeah, I saw Hex to Hex. He didn't do an unboxing. What he did, he laid out the game on the table. After he pulled it out, put all the counters, everything was beautiful, and then he presented the game. This is the game. Things are moving on the table already. This is how it looks. Here you have the timetables and all that. That, I love it. This is what comes in the game, and this is how it looks on the table. For me, that's the best unboxings. And if you, I don't know. In the end, it's just a hobby. It's nothing else. Okay. Okay, I can draw the senatorial town. I have to start remembering the names. So the Senate town is called Ipsis Briga. Yeah, unboxings can be dull to death. Okay, then I will have, okay, I'll do it a bit more tight so it doesn't look so big. And I decided to make an hexagon. Like, okay, if it's a war game, it must have an hexagon, right? So the town will be an hexagon. That one is a bit. So the Senate, the hexagon is the Senate. It's not hexagon, but it doesn't really matter. Yes, and that is good. Like, okay, this is a little intro of what projects are coming to the table, especially with miniatures. That's very important, and I really like it. When you presented the battleground stuff, was really nice, because it's one of the, I mean, one can never have enough rule sets, right? But it's not that simple, because there's a point where one buys so many games, like board games or miniatures. Is always different. They are always ready to be played with whatever rule set one can buy. I mean, one can discuss that basing is important and all that, but I mean, if you have them in let me grab one of the pirates that we are kind of playing, right? I mean, we base them off 2-cent coins for the characters and the 1-cent coins for the normal sailors. I mean, even if I go play a game that needs a base, I just have it on magnetics, and I can have like 4, 8, 12, 20 miniatures in the base, and I don't need to rebase everything. So that's the entire idea. Okay, just don't want to mess up here. Okay, the forest goes all the way, so we'll come from the mountains there. Yeah, exactly. Historical game is, and I mean, you can make up stories of World War II that never happened. I mean, suppose that Soviet Union would invade, or suppose that France would invade Germany as soon as they attacked Poland. You can make that. It never happened. You would say, oh, but that's not historical. Yes, it isn't, but it's my war game. I can play that if I want, right? I mean, in the end, it's our game. It's no one else's game. It's our fun. You can't do that. The gray trousers are wrong, and that blue is not Napoleonic blue, right? That blue on the Marshal's baton is wrong. You must paint it again. Oh, and that Confederate gray and brown is not correct. It must be butternut. Yeah, this is a big forest. It comes all the way down to the coast and ends in the beaches. I have to find a way of doing cliffs there without, but I will mark with something like where it's cliffs and where it's not. So this is all kind of, it's not jungle, but it's all wooded areas down to the coast. So when they land, they will immediately have to work out with wood, dense woods. I mean, if the blues, it's actually not a bad area to land. They just have to make sure they will march through they will not be that easily spotted, and when they come out, they can immediately control this port town, because one of the things is that the blues have a port and the reds do not. That's important. Not that we will be playing naval battles. We might do just simple stuff. But if I might get a copy of Trireme or something, yeah, I might. I don't believe there will be that many naval battles, but if I find a cheap copy of Trireme, or can't remember the other one, I might get it. War Galleys, I think that's the one, but that's too old, and I don't know. I think at the moment I have enough games. They have enough projects. I mean, I'm loving the project with the kids. Well, they are not kids; they are on the way to become adults. And I'm really loving working with them, doing the Buccaneer campaign. Next game, I don't think it's not going to be this weekend. They are starting with the exams this year, and yeah, but let's see. It's gonna be Oak and Iron, because in the last battle they managed to save the captain from the evil Baron holding Chevalier d'Etuville, and they now have to escape from the eventual. I still haven't rolled the scenario proper, but there will be some islands. They have to sail the ship, and it's with the rule set Oak and Iron, which my daughter loves. We played Black Seas and Oak and Iron pretty much at when they arrived. I received both. Oak and Iron Kickstarter arrived like a few weeks after I received Black Seas, and man, we both didn't like Black Seas because it felt like motorboats. It wasn't sail ships. Oak and Iron, she loved it, and I really liked it. So we are going for that. Oh yeah, Forged in Battle. Yeah, you have the 1 to 2400 or 1 to 3000. You can use them for flying colors. I mean, I advise to get Flying Colors board game. I mean, end of story. It's really good game for what it aims to do, which is big fleet versus big fleet. For small squadron versus small squadron, it's not the one I advise. For small squadron versus small squadron, you will go better with close action or even wooden ship and Iron Man. Yeah, 1-3000, that's Flying Colors. It's the same size as the counters, the base of the ships, exactly the same. So you can you can play on the map that comes with the game. Actually, one of the things I have on the list to buy is another game mat for the table, same as the one I have, but with a hex layover, so I can play the Flying Colors directly on the mat. And I'm going to buy the Forged in Battle packs as well. So for that specific scale, and then you get an excellent game, cardboard game, if you really want. It's Flying Colors, or you can, close action, which is both. The rule set is for both things from the ground up, and wooden ship and Iron Man as well, pretty much. I mean, all three you can. Close action might be hard to get. Same with wooden ships and Iron Man. Flying colors you can get it easy. Other rule sets, I mean, you have Kiss Me Hardy from the Two Fat Lardies. Why not? It's also good. It would be like wooden ship and Iron Man in a different way. Okay, let's do this. These are just woods, so not. This is thick forest. These are just normal woods. I mean, you can work them comfortable, not easy, but comfortable. It's the same. Actually, ground types is always. I always think about them, especially in World War II games. They always treat open ground as the best thing ever, and actually, and it's not. It's very hard to march through farmland, and most open ground is farmland. And if it's not farmland, it's just untended ground that has branches and wild weed everywhere, and it's not easy going. But these are just woods with not that thick underbrush. It's just lonely trees just represented. It's just a map to move pieces on. Yeah, I would advise flying colors. I really love the system, and if you flying colors is good, and that's just my opinion for fleet versus fleet battle. That's where the beauty of the system lies. It's not the ship versus ship. You are an admiral. It's like Nelson was not worried about what each ship was doing individually, so to say. The details of all that ship crew and all that crunch doesn't matter for an admiral, and that's the hat you're using with flying colors. So what you want is command and control of the fleet and the columns of the fleet. So it will be the admiral and some other commanders commanding different columns or different parts of the fleet, and that's really the heart of the game, and it does it very well. There's other systems like Heart of Oak, Fire as Ship Bearers is also good. There's so many people play Fire as Ship Bearers. You also have one that some buddies told me, Langton Miniatures, which is probably the best naval miniatures in existence. They are expensive though. They have their own naval system and it's their specialty is naval. They don't do anything else, and they tell that is very good. They have two versions, a starter version and a more crunchy version, and then they have the Napoleonic hero one and the Anglo-Dutch Wars version. So might it's worth a shot, I guess. Okay. Yeah, all the roads on the Red Kingdom are main roads. They have very few settlements. I'm not going to call cities. Yeah, all the red is all main roads. They have only 5 cities. But the same with the senatorial province. With the Senate province is all main roads. They want communications fast. One thing that William Sylvester guide has is it doesn't leave. You can use the book. The book is not a rule set. The book is entire guidelines for a campaign design and guiding. And the name, okay, let's align, and the name is very misguiding because it says Solo Wargaming Guide, and it's not really. You can use the campaign to play with your friends. You can use the campaign to, let's say, and I don't know, some other people might want to play the battle you generated, right? And they play the battle and send you the result. And then you, I mean, so it's a misleading name, I would say. And he has guidelines for pretty much covers all the essentials of what a war game would represent in terms of the forces, the time, because time is important. How much time does it take to march? How much time does it take for the troops to rest? How much time does it take for a message to go from a command center to the troops in the front? How much time does it take to mobilize the troops, right? So you have all these details. Okay, now we have a small road that will work. The woods here, not woods, the forest. The forest, I will do it in a different way there. Yeah, it's a big one. I'll just end this forest and at least the outline. So there will be a lot of generating. Usually people make paths where, I mean, let's suppose there's some merchants coming through this road. They don't want to go there. They will cut through there. But it's an unmarked road. Probably only the guys that use it know it. It's not. It always happens. You can see it every day. That detail happening. Like when you see grass, and you never go around the entire sidewalk if it makes 0 sense. You just cut it, and after months there's a path carved in the grass, right? It's not because people really want to step in the grass. It just makes no sense. It's easier to just cut through and more comfortable and all that. Same in a map. Yeah, here it would make 0 sense, so I'll just make the patch of woods on this side. It wasn't supposed for the forest to be so extensive, but then I thought, yeah, well, actually it's quite okay. They carved the road through the forest there. And this forest connects to a bit of a, it's bogs. It's not really swamp. It's kind of this trapped water in between the river bends. So kind of watery glades. Just a few. It's always funny how map symbology is drawn throughout it just represents still water. There's some maps I've seen where they create the marshes, especially this more, they have some swirling like water in the middle. Man, it looks, I don't like it. Just a few branches there, should be okay. Alright, I'll continue tomorrow. It's getting late here, so cheers, thanks for passing by and have a good one. See you tomorrow.